Let's fucking go.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Comic Gamer Movie Show. My name is Deshaun and today I am here to review Agatha All Along episode 7, as I would like to call this the Lilia Emmy nomination episode, because this episode, I'm not gonna, beat around the bush here. This was by far the best episode of the show so far. And it was so funny because I hadn't seen it yet, and I know like Superwise has been kind of down on the show, and my boy Superwise, love you, we always have our disagreements, but like he's like #1 on my feed, so when I saw his reaction to it I was like, oh man, maybe. And then like, because I hadn't seen it yet, but I'm always on the internet, I'm always on there's some different things, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, so like I'm trying not to get spoiled, but I am seeing other people's reaction to this episode, and it's all glowing. Outside of Superwise, everyone, almost every single person reviewing the show, including some people who were down on the show, had the same thing to say about this episode. The people who love the show, who like me, who were liking the show, were like, this is by far the best episode. This episode might get nominated for an Emmy. Just the actress Patti LuPone might get nominated from just this episode alone, and like everyone's gushing about this episode, and I was like, shit, okay. And then I saw some people like Coy Jandros, I don't know if you guys know him, cool dude. He's been down on the show, and he was raving about this episode, saying this is the episode, this is what I thought the show could be. So he was raving. So going into this episode, watching this episode, I was like, this can't be that as good as people are talking about. And then I saw the runtime, and it was like something like 35, but I don't even think it was, maybe it was 40 minutes? I think it was like 30-something minutes. And in my brain, I'm like, oh, fuck, this is a 30-minute episode? Oh, man. I don't know if you can really do what you want to do in a 30-minute episode, but I'll be damned. I call this the Lilia episode because it's mostly about her. It's, first of all, the writing on this show, you knew that her divinations throughout the course of the show, every once in a while she would like, she'd freak out and like say something, and we all know like she's glimpsing the future, or she's glimpsing her future. Every once in a while she would do something like that. And we knew that it would all come into play. But the way they wrote it, to really make every single one of those divinations, it's one of these episodes, it did something that TV shows rarely can do. And this goes beyond a comic book thing. When you write something in a way in which it makes the past episodes, it changes your perspective on the past episodes. Because now, we find out that Lilia has been living in this weird like her life out of order, where she's constantly flashing to the future, flashing to the past. She's glimpsing, like she's constantly in and out. And now we know that she had seen some of these things that have happened before they happened, and she's just been kind of defeated by it because there's nothing she can do about it. There's so many beautiful allegories that were going on with her. The obvious one is Alzheimer's. At a certain point, Lilia is talking to Jennifer and just telling her, like, you just think I'm this old, crazy, woman, who can't trust my own mind. And there's definitely something about the idea of how older people, when people get that dementia, when people get those Alzheimer's, and it screws with their head, and like they just can't function properly, and like they don't remember they don't remember people, like they just feel their mind slipping, and they know what's happening, and there's nothing they can do about it. It's a sad reality of aging that happens to a lot of older people, is like their minds just start to go. And there was an obvious allegory to that, which is what, honestly, I believe superhero / comic book movies and whatnot, or shows, are at their best when they take something that is legit real, trauma, some type of real trauma, and just they do it through the guise of a superhero fantastical story, but it's real, but you feel it because it's coming from something that's very understandable. And Lilia's motivations are so human and so understandable, because we find out that, like, the thing that is kind of fucked her up is that all she sees is she sees other people's deaths, she sees her own death, and she can't do anything to prevent these things from happening. So Lilia, because it was always built like she lost her powers, and that's why she, you know, is down and out. But in reality, she pushed it away. In reality, she locked her powers away in her mind, because she just got tired of seeing all the death and all this stuff. And obviously that was a beautiful allegory as well, is that so often it's kind of a thing about how when you dwell on it, you know, if you really sat around and thought about death long enough, we all know we're gonna die one day, and it's kind of this thing that you don't think about really. You kind of push it to the back of your mind. Most people don't think about it. Most people don't think about it until they're honestly, most people don't think about it until, like, they're in a situation where they could die or they're on death's bed. Otherwise, you're just not gonna think about it, because if you thought about it too long, it would drive you insane. It would really screw with your head. And in Lilia's case, she's literally seeing people's death. Could you imagine meeting someone? Can you imagine meeting the love of your life and you being able to see their death before anything even got popping? Can you imagine? Can you imagine having a child and your baby's in your arms and you can see that baby's death before, like, how that baby's gonna die? Maybe it's tragic, maybe it's not, but you see your son is gonna die. Like, how would that fuck with your skull? And it would make you shut down. But the moral of the story is you can't, death is inevitable. It's about what you do with the time you have. And we all go, it's the one thing we all share in common, as was stated in the episode, is that we all are going to die one day. But Lilia had to stop being afraid. You can't let fear of what will be, or fear of what could be, stop you from enjoying life. Stop you from sharing moments, for having friends, from doing what you want to do, from following your dreams. And in that moment, and it's sad, because Lilia had to go through this crucible of, you know, just going down this road. And the sad thing is that she finally came to her peace. She finally came to an acceptance of herself as a witch, of her powers, of what she sees, of death itself when she's gonna die. And that's one of the bittersweet things about this episode. Like, it ends so tragically. I mean, it's a bittersweet thing. And also, you got this thing going on with Billy and Agatha, where we finally revealed last week who the teen really is, who went through his backstory. He's Billy Kaplan or Billy Maximoff, depending on how he feels. A lot of people were kind of weirded out by the fact that he said that Wanda isn't his mom, which I don't know if you guys, like I said last week, he isn't Billy Maximoff. He is Billy Kaplan and Billy Maximoff combined to make a new person, because he doesn't have memories from Westview, and he doesn't have memories from being Billy Kaplan. He's a new person. Like, this isn't a possession. It's like, I don't know what to call it. It's not, because it's not a possession. It's like they just combined two people combined to make a new human being. So his whole thing is, as we find out in this episode, is he doesn't know which one he is. Am I Billy Kaplan or am I Billy Maximoff? Am I William or am I Billy? And the thing is that I get the feeling that in the end is going to be like, you're neither. You're a completely new person. But he's only had one mom that he's known, which is the mom that's been raising him for the last 3 years. So as far as he's concerned, Wanda Maximoff is a stranger. Wanda Maximoff is a woman who abandoned, you know, a woman who's dead. It's like, I don't really know this woman. I don't know what's up with this woman. I don't have a connection. Like, I have a connection to her, but I don't have a relationship with her. Whereas this woman who raised me, like, she's been the one mothering me. She's been the one guiding me, feeding me, putting a roof over my head, loving me. Like, they are my parents as far as I'm concerned. And I'm starting to get the feeling, like, maybe I'm still wrong, and maybe I'll come back around to it, but I'm starting to get a slight feeling that maybe they might not bring Wanda back in the show. I don't know. Because the priorities have clearly shifted for Billy. Also, Teen did not know he had those powers. They did just kind of sneak up on him. Also, love the whole, of course, Lillian's trial would be Tarot, and Tarot's always been one of those. It's an interesting thing. Like people who do it, who do it well, can really say some profound shit. Maybe it's bullshit, maybe it's not. But Tarot's something that like fucking the most gothiest kid or whatever just pops up and just like, oh, I know how to do this. But I have no real strong opinions on Tarot. But Lillian's a divination witch, so Tarot is right up her alley. And I love it that it's Lillian, because Lillian, one of the things Lillian's been complaining about is the, what's the word I'm looking for? Stereotypical bad depiction of witches in cinema and whatnot, which half of which the bad depictions are based off of Agatha. As Agatha, as the entire rest of the coven is dressed up like stereotypical witches. Agatha is the Wicked Witch from The Wizard of Oz. What was he? Fucking Teen Billy was Maleficent. I can't remember which fucking which Jennifer was. I think that was the one from not Snow White. Was it the one from Snow White? I can't remember. But Lilia was the Good Witch. So they were all dressed up in the stereotypical stuff. So I just thought that was kind of a nice callback to complaints she had before. Also, the subway station that was mentioned earlier by Mrs. Hart, aka Mrs. Davis, came to play here as well. There was just so much, and it was one of the most beautifully shot episodes. I don't know if they saved all the budget for this, but the shots of Lilia falling and the twisting and turning upside down of the room, and I mean, this thing was beautifully shot, dude. I mean, there was some like very artistic shots that could literally be put on walls, man. Like I say, by the end of this episode, I was like, you know what? This is not only one of the best, this is not only by far the best episode of the show, this is one of the best episodes of Marvel television. And you know what? The numbers don't lie. That episode, as I posted up earlier this week, went up 35, the viewership went up 35% for that episode. And that episode is the second highest rated Marvel show episode of all time, behind Loki season 2 finale. So the numbers don't lie, the views don't lie. Agatha is all the way up. Anyways, thank you guys for joining me on the Comic Game Movie Show. Please like and subscribe and comment below and let me know. What did you think of, oh, look at me, burying the lead. I give episode 7 a 10 out of 10, baby. Love that shit. Love that shit. So yeah, once again, remember to comment below. Let me know what you guys think of the episode. Please like and subscribe. See you on the next one. Whoo, boy, that was a great episode. Man, damn. Oh, I can't, next week, can't get here soon enough, baby. All right, guys.